Hello, I'm Megan Nino, a holistic esthetician, and today I'm really excited because I'll be sharing my full gua sha routine with you today. First thing is first, the gua sha. So I'll be using for the video today the Cecily Jade Braden or CJB Jade Gua Sha. And this is a beautiful stone. It's got these great curves on it. We'll be working on the neck and then moving up the face. And then it's got this curve here too, which we can use along the jawline. I'll show you some other tricks with that too. And then it's got these ridges here, which are great for breaking up that superficial fascia that lies beneath the skin. If you don't know what superficial fascia is, it is the first layer of fascia that holds everything together. So it's this clear web, it's a network of connective tissues that lies just beneath the skin, and what happens is it can get adhesions and get tight and kind of crunchy and dry, and what the gua sha does is it actually helps to break up that dry fascia and bring fluidity, movement, chi, life force energy from the neck to the face. So there's all different types of gua shas. This is one of my favorites, and I sell this at sacredfacials.shop. This is another gua sha that I use. This is also a CJB gua sha, but this is the comb style. So it works with the same, principles, but you can actually use this comb part to go through your scalp and touch on those marma points. What is the gua sha? So a gua sha stone is a traditional Chinese medicine stone, and it's been used for thousands of years to coin the skin. And what that means is it was used to, in a firm pressure in China, to bring up the sha. So gua means to scrape, sha means the blood. So to scrape the blood, right? And they believed that the sha contained toxins. And so when the bruising came to the surface, that means that your body was healing. Of course, for the modern day facial gua sha, it's definitely not that firm, and we do not want to be bruising our beautiful skin. So I highly recommend using this skincare that I'm about to show you. I've been using it personally and professionally for over 6 years now. I can't believe it. I've tried all the different skincare lines in the green beauty market, and I keep coming back to Laurel Skin. So the first product that we'll be using is her antioxidant serum. This contains 31 whole organic plants in it, including jojoba, rosehip, cranberry seed oil. It does have almond and tamanu, so if you have allergies to nuts, be aware of that. It does have yarrow and chamomile and sandalwood and myrrh, which really help to bring down the inflammation in the skin. And then it's loaded with antioxidants. And it's just such a beautiful line. I mean, she hand makes everything in her studio in Petaluma with her team. And so that's the first part of our gua sha routine that we're going to apply is that serum to give a slip, because we don't want to pull or bruise or hurt the skin in any way. So this oil is really gonna help create that slip. And then what I like to do is, for the second layer, is put on the recovery balm, which is also by Laurel Skin. This has 15 whole organic plants in it. I'm just gonna open it up so that you can see the beautiful color. This is really dense skincare, so it's 100% working product. There's no water, no fillers, no petrochemicals. I mean, it's like farm-to-face plant medicine. It's so gorgeous, and your skin immediately just absorbs those beautiful vitamins and minerals, and then you're glowing all day. Now, let's get started. So I am wearing a strapless top here, and I've got my hair pulled back, kind of just to have everything out of my face. I do have these really light earrings on, but typically you wouldn't want to wear like foundation or earrings. So I do have a little bit of makeup on, because otherwise if I don't wear makeup in the camera, I just look completely washed out. But that's just on my eyebrows and eyes. So there's the serum. And I get enough on there so that I can apply it to my neck and décolleté, and then apply the rest on my face. Some people press in their serums. Other people like to do this kind of light swiping. When you're doing a lymphatic drainage massage, or when we're using our gua sha with really light pressure, we're going to be working from the inside out and then down. But make sure that you have enough slip. Put a little extra oil on the back of the neck because we'll be working there as well. So now that your skin is prepped with the serum, the next step is the balm. So this is the recovery balm, and I really love the smell of this. It's gently sweet and it goes on effortlessly. So you can put this on top of that serum on your neck and décolleté and then move it up the face. Also, if you have really dry skin, I would recommend doing the elixir that Laurel has first, either the 1 or the 2. I've got one right here actually. This is her elixir 2. This is great for people with oily to combo acne type skin. If you have the sensitive skin that's a little bit more oily, this elixir 2 is great. I use an elixir 1, but unfortunately I'm all out, so I'm not demoing that today. But you get the point. It's elixir first, serum, and then balm, okay? And what that does is it hydrates the skin, so that's really the only source of hydration in the line. Now that we've prepped our skin, we're gonna take our gua sha and start on the neck. So first we're gonna be opening up very gently. We're gonna take this side here, the ridges, and just gently go up and down from the clavicle up behind the ear, very, very lightly, all the way around the neck a few times. What this does is it helps to open up these meridians here in the neck, and we're bringing nutrients to our face from the neck. It's really important to open up that neck first and then start on the face. And you can go all the way behind, just gently stimulating, bringing blood circulation and flow. I can already feel this sort of tingling, a little bit itchy sensation. It feels so good. Just very gently up and down. And you can go a lot slower too if that feels more comfortable for you. I've just been doing this for a long time, so I do it pretty fast. But you can go, just gently up and down, up, down. If you have thyroid issues, I would recommend staying away from the middle of your neck. Just kind of work around the sides to the back, okay? We don't want to aggravate that thyroid gland. You can do this 6 to 10 times around the neck. Now, say for example, we're using this gua sha with a smooth side. This is a great way to drain your lymphatic system, and I do like this smooth feature. So we'll be going up and down the same exact way with really light pressure and bringing all that fluid in the neck down to that clavicle point. And if we were a bathtub, this would be our drainage point right here, okay? So this is like, again, if we were a bathtub and we pulled that plug, this would be the drainage point here. So our body has about 600 to 700 lymph nodes throughout the entire body, and 160 to 200 of those lymph nodes lie within the face and the neck. And so what you're doing with this gua sha, with the light pressure, is touching upon, those 160 to 200 lymph nodes, and you're really draining out all of this extracellular, toxic cellular fluid and waste that's just been sitting there, also known as stagnation. Now we've got our profundus, our middle, terminus lymph nodes, right, on both sides. So profundus, middle, and terminus lymph nodes, and then we've got our submental and submandibular lymph nodes that drain all the way down to that point. We've also got these side lymph nodes here, and you can kind of imagine what they look like. on the sides of the ears, and of course we've got them all throughout our face, forehead, and we even have lymph nodes in our brain, which is known as glymph. So now that you've opened up your neck with the gua sha, we'll be moving on to the face. Starting underneath the chin, we're going to be taking this side here and just lying it flat underneath that chin, really lightly pushing the fluid, really lightly. I'm supporting with my other hand here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then we're moving up the face, supporting with your hand. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do this 6 to 10 times, holding the stone at a 15-degree angle to the skin. So holding it really flat to kind of flush all the fluid to the edge of the ear. 6 to 10 times in that area, right? And then eventually we're going to be bringing it down like this. Okay, moving up the face, holding and supporting with the other hand, moving the stone at a 15-degree angle, 6 to 10 times. You can really take your time here. And the way that you hold your arm will also help the gua sha. If you're holding it out, it's going to give you a little bit more grip and angle with that skin. Think of it like pottery, you know? You are the clay and the gua sha stone is your sculpting tool. I can already tell a difference. This side of my face is starting to get thinner. A lot of the bloating and the excess water waste is starting to flush away now, and that's what we want. The gua sha also helps to relieve these dark under eye circles, so hopefully mine will flush away during this session. All right, now we're moving up. We're using that same side here, gently flushing just below that orbital ridge. I'm using my other hand to support, and you can kind of walk your fingers across just to support that skin, because the skin under the eye area is really fragile, so we don't want to pull it. Make sure you have enough oil there. And you can see I'm getting a little bit pink, which is great. I'm barely putting any pressure. And holding the stone, and adjust your arm. So I don't know if you can see, but I can definitely tell a difference that the right side of my face is much thinner. It feels lighter. And this is just the beginning. All right, so now we're moving up on the forehead, and we'll be using that very edge of it here to flush away the cellular waste and all that bloating. You don't have to support your head with the other hand, but I like to. It just makes me feel more secure and more anchored. And then do that 6 to 10 times. You could do the whole forehead or move up, you know, do 2 sections on the forehead. We're bringing it to that temple point. And now we're gonna switch over to the other side. All right, so we're working underneath the chin area 6 to 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Moving up the face. You can also put your lips together. Working over your lips if you want. Probably easier like that. It's hard to do this in the camera. You can flush over the lips, or you can avoid, you know, the lips and kind of do this, or you can move it up and do this. Just remember to support your skin, readjust the arm, anchor, hold the gua sha at a 15 to 45 degree angle, maintain connection all the way to the edge of the ear. Lost count on this side, sorry. Okay, moving up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really light, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, awesome. Now we're moving up right underneath that orbital ridge. Same thing, you can readjust your arm and kind of anchor and support, moving underneath the eye there. This is so light, very light pressure underneath the eye. You can walk your fingers, just support in that one spot. Okay, and then moving on to the forehead, working it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we can move up here. I already feel so relaxed. So now we'll be taking our gua sha stone, working at the 15-degree angle, bringing all the fluid down the face and underneath the ear down to the clavicle. I'm going to do that one more time. So down the side of the face, the side of the ear, underneath the ear to the clavicle. Do that about 6 to 10 times. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Do that up to 10 times. And move to the other side. Just flip your gua sha. 1, 2, 3. Really light pressure, you guys, but just bringing this, all that fluid that we just pushed from the inside of our face to the outside, we're bringing it down to that drainage point now. Okay, the lymphatic drainage piece of our gua sha treatment is done. And now we're going to be doing our muscle lifting and supporting with this hand. I'm starting on my right side here, using these ridges once again, and working your way up. Another way that you can do it is taking an opposite hand and pulling it up like this. And turn a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm pulling it up right underneath that ear, right over the large muscle, right over the sternocleidomastoid. We're moving our way up around the neck, okay? So just do this maybe 3 to 6 times with more of a medium pressure. If it hurts, don't press that hard. But what we're doing is we're lifting and toning. If you have thyroid issues, just avoid that part of your neck. I'm going to go in the middle here because that feels really good, and I've got some aging lines that are starting to show up there. So I really want to smooth those out, and I'm supporting my skin down here while I'm pulling upwards. Okay, and then the same thing from the clavicle up, lifting the sternocleidomastoid muscles and the platysma muscles. Sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is right here, and then we've got our platysma muscles that we're lifting as well. That muscle right there. And then pulling up. This one feels really good when you go over that large muscle there. So relaxing, especially if you have tech neck or if you're working over your computer all day long. Now we're going to be moving to the back of the neck here with our gua sha with medium pressure. Same thing on the other side. Work on either side of your spine here. And you can bring it all the way up into the hairline, into that occipital ridge. Then we'll switch it over. You don't really want to work over your bone because that doesn't feel too good, but on either side of the spine feels amazing. And then we're going to take this part of the gua sha and work up the neck here. You can also go downwards, which feels really good. That C7 point. If you have this kind of gua sha, you can use this point here, or you can use the smooth side. You know, on either side of your spine. Working your way up. You can work down. Or up. Now we'll be using our ridges here. You can definitely do the zigzags on your neck with these ridges in light to medium pressure. You know, if you have like a thick, tense neck, you definitely use this. I've got like a lot of thickness back here by my spine, so this really helps to relax those muscles. Break up some of that fascia and those fine lines, especially fine lines that I have right here. You can actually take the ridges and do this on your chest area too, bringing it all the way over to the armpit here. And I have to hold this at a 90-degree angle. Okay, and I can feel all that crunchiness in there. I'm breaking it all up and bringing it over to that armpit area. It's so good. I mean, the décolleté is really an area that we neglect, or at least I do. So the gua sha helps with that. Now we're gonna move over to the other side. You can angle it, or you can hold it at that 90-degree and really get those ridges in there. Breaking up that fascia, which I can feel a little bit closer to my collarbone on this side. All the way over to that armpit. That feels so good. Okay. Now you can do gentle strokes over your collarbone as well. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll turn to this side. That feels really, really good. Just make sure that you have enough slip because we don't want to bruise the skin. I can feel a lot of texture and crunchiness under there. That's just the fascia adhesion. It's really dry fascia. So we're bringing lots of fluidity and movement and chi from the neck to the face. All right, so jade is a porous stone, so you might need to reapply a little bit more oil if you feel like your stone is getting too dry or if your skin is getting too dry. Now we're going to use the same ridges here. You can work on the mandible with this. I say really light pressure. You can hold it this way at a 90-degree angle. This feels awesome, especially going over this large masseter muscle here. There's a lot of crunchiness in my jaw. So this is going to help break it up. And moving on up in each section, using those ridges, you can hook into that nasal labial fold. So you can hook into that nasal labial fold with medium pressure and really feel those muscles in there. That feels so good. It's almost like tending to the garden, right? You're using the rake and you're kind of going through the soil and you're tilling that soil and moving things around and bringing nutrients up to the topsoil. Now you can see, wow, there's definitely some pink blood circulation happening. It feels light. I've got some tingling action happening. It feels alive, and that's what we want. That's how you get radiant, glowing skin. By doing gua sha either once in the morning or once at night. You can do it every day if you want to, or a couple times a week if you want to. And then we're going to be moving up on the forehead. Now this area is a little bit more sensitive, so just try with light strokes and see how that feels. If you feel more confident and you want to press a little bit more firm with medium pressure, I would suggest going upwards. For me personally, that feels better. Okay. You can do a gentle friction as well, so kind of back and forth zigzag or hashtag motion. Ideally, you want to go opposite of the direction of your lines. So if you've got these lines across the forehead that are running horizontally, you'll want to work vertically across those lines with your gentle friction, which creates that hashtag. Okay? Now we'll be moving on to the other side with the same ridges. Okay, so you can work underneath the jaw. One more for good measure. I think that was 10. And then moving up from the chin across that masseter muscle. That feels so good. I'm starting to feel some heat now. If it's starting to turn super red and you're feeling uncomfortable or like, ow, that hurts, back off a little bit and lighten up your pressure. Okay, so we're moving on up. I'm still holding those ridges against the fascia, and I can really feel any kind of texture that might be happening under there. I'm massaging the muscles and lifting those muscles. You can also support your skin with the other hand while you're doing this. Next, we're going to be hooking into the nasolabial on this side and pulling it gently upwards. This feels amazing. So gua sha is also known as the Eastern facelift, and you can see why. I've got a little tender spot here, so I'm just gonna give myself a little extra and work over that spot. It's really tight right here. Okay, just a couple times. And now, working underneath the eye area. Not too hard here, but enough to bring out that pink. And then moving up on the forehead. This is a little bit painful, so I'm gonna lighten up, breaking up that fascia. I can feel lots of lumps and crunchiness in there. And just be really tender here. Working up. You can also use your other hand to support and kind of make those lines dissipate by doing this, by stretching the skin gently. Okay. All right, now we're going to work into those muscles one more time with a medium to firm pressure with this here. Same thing we did with that lymphatic flush, except we're going firm now. We're lifting and toning. And you can really feel those muscles and the tension. I can feel it here in my jaw. I have TMJ, so gua sha is actually really helpful to rebalance all of that. It feels great just to massage those joints. Now this covers a lot of surface area. If you've got a gua sha that's a little bit smaller, going to be using this flat side, holding the stone at a 15 to 45 degree angle, working your way up. Okay, other side, medium to firm pressure. You see how the gua sha fits along the cheekbone here? This is really a great sculpting tool. And again, it just hits on that point right there that relieves tension. My right side was a bit more tight, so I could really feel that side loosening up, but now everything feels balanced. Also, you can definitely use this across your jawline. Okay, you can use this over the eyebrow, which feels amazing because this little point here touches on the 3 pressure points above the eyebrows. And don't be afraid to put a little bit of extra pressure on the top there to help relieve that eye tension, which we all get from staring at our screens for too long. I know I'm guilty of that. That feels amazing. And now we'll be taking the same side and working the 2 feet, is what I'm going to call them, up the forehead in circular motions. So we're doing a little extra work here, pushing it up into the hairline. Feels absolutely amazing. This is very relaxing. You just want to sit here and focus on your 3rd eye. That's fine. There's a little relaxation point here that you can press on. It feels better this way though. Now we're going to do some really cool moves. So we're going to take our gua sha and flip it, bringing it out and doing a scoop, and then pulling it on up through. This is called the youth lift line. This is going to help with those marionette lines, if you have them like me. So kind of scoop in that nasolabial, make a shelf, pull it all the way up into that hairline. So make a shelf and flatten the stone so that it's actually bringing everything up. I'm going to do that one more time. So we're holding our stone like this, flipping it over, making a shelf, and pulling it through. This has a little bit of a difficult point here. So if you have a flat gua sha, flip it, make a shelf, pull it through. I think the flat side will be a lot easier to work with than that lumpy side, but it still works the same. Same principle. Okay, let's do it on the other side. So I'm holding the stone, I'm gonna flip it over, hooking into that nasolabial, making a shelf, flattening the stone, and pulling it through that youth lift line. Hooking in, making a shelf, and pulling it flat up that youth lift line. I guess you would call it a meridian line, or I'm not really sure. They call it the youth lift line. I know that there's points there, acupressure points. There we go. So I want to do a review with you guys. First, we started on the neck. We did our light zigzags all the way around 6 to 10 times. Then we moved up the face in sections with really light pressure, bringing all of that cellular fluid waste to the side. And then we brought it down the sides of the neck here, underneath the ear to the clavicle. We did that to flush everything out and down to that drainage point. We did the same thing on the other side, really light pressure in each section, 6 to 10 times. We worked the forehead, and then we brought it down the side of the face underneath the ear. with really light pressure to that clavicle drainage point. And then we went in with our awesome ridges here and we broke up all the fascia, brought it to the armpit, on our décolleté. We worked on the collarbone, worked on the neck, really broke up all that fascia there, and some of these more difficult areas where we hold tension on the back of our neck. That felt really nice, and I started to notice the relaxation kicking in at that point. Then we did the ridges up the face in the sections. Then we did it on the forehead, you know, with our gentle friction. Then we, you know, did the other side as well in our sections, right? Then we took this guy and I showed you how to use that point. We went over our eyebrows. And then we did this little move that's really relaxing over the entire forehead. It's gentle circular motions from the eyebrow all the way up into the hairline. And what else do we do? I think that's it. Yeah. So lymphatic flush is first. Then we go in and lift and tone all the muscles of the neck and face. The whole routine should only take about 15 to 20 minutes, but I really slowed it down to help educate, and I really hope that this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below or send me a direct message on Instagram to let me know how this has changed your skincare game, and I know it definitely will. This is such an incredible holistic modality that makes our skin literally transform because it's working on a deeper level. A lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a jade roller versus a gua sha? And I always say the gua sha is king or queen because she works on such a deep level. You're really touching upon that superficial fascia. You are working with your lymphatic system a little bit because you're draining some of that cellular waste out. With a jade roller, it's really superficial, so you may be bringing a little bit of blood circulation to the skin, but it's not as potent as touching on meridians and acupressure points in the neck and face, which helps open up that chi life force energy. It also touches on the points that correlate with our internal organs, right? All these meridians in our face and stuff that correlate with our internal organs. It just really helps to restore balance, and it rejuvenates, and it's very revitalizing. So I highly recommend doing this a couple times a week, either in the morning or the night. I know I keep repeating myself, but yeah, it's awesome. Now for the bonus, the face yoga movements that I'm about to teach you are things that I've been doing on a regular basis to help lift my neck and help tone my chin, my marionette lines, and my smile. One of the first movements is to focus on this muscle here. What we're doing is we're going to just gently tilt our head up like this, and then we're putting our tongue to the roof of our mouth so that it kind of pulls this muscle up, and we're going to do that to tone this part and really tighten it and make it more firm. And if you place your hands right here, you can feel that muscle moving up. Okay, so we'll be doing that a couple of seconds, holding it for 5 seconds. And if you can, do a deep breath before and after. In yoga, they really focus on breathing, so this is the same thing with face yoga, breathing in and lifting. And lifting. 5 seconds. The next movement is focusing on this platysma muscle here. You can see how it connects and it kind of draws everything down. So we'll be placing our hands here so that we know that we're working that muscle. And we'll be going like this. Turning your head at a 45-degree angle, breathing in, and then doing this motion as if we're kissing someone. Really low. Kissing the air. And we're really firming that muscle just on this side here. Then turn over on the other side, holding your neck at a 45-degree angle and kissing the air. You can see how it lifts the chin and the muscle there, and it firms it. So we're gonna breathe in, breathe out, lifting the chin slightly and putting the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And you just want to hold that for a few seconds. Release it, take another breath, hold it for a few seconds. And ideally, these exercises can be done within literally a minute, 2 minutes. You just take your time so that you're not straining the muscles. But we're going to do this one again. So you can feel when you're lifting that muscle and tightening it with the tongue, you can feel it moving here. So we're gonna do the same thing. Take a deep breath in. Breathing out. And release. I personally love that one because I noticed that as I'm getting older, my chin and marionette lines and all of this is being pulled down. And the next face yoga movement is really going to help relieve some of that tension where everything is being pulled down from this platysma muscle here. I'm going to show you where it is. You see that? We've got this platysma muscle that comes down on either side. So we're going to place our hands here so that we know that we're touching that muscle and working that muscle. Take a nice deep breath in. Turn your head to the right or left side, holding it at a 45-degree angle and gently kissing the air. Come out and breathe. And move to the other side, turning the neck gently at a 45-degree angle and kissing the air. Okay, so you can do a couple sets of that. You're really gonna notice that this tightens and firms. I just love it. It's so simple and I get to connect with my skin and understand the muscles a little bit better and how they work, and it just makes me feel more empowered. The last facial yoga movement that I'll be teaching you today is really fun. This is going to help you with your smile, kind of lifting and toning the cheeks so that you feel more alive and vibrant. So it's a little bit funky. You're gonna have to follow me. I can't talk while I'm showing, so you're just gonna have to follow me on this one. Tucking the mouth in. So it's a little bit more challenging because I can't talk, but I think you get the gist. So I tuck in my lips And what I'm doing is I'm balancing out each side of my mouth so that when I smile, each side is even. It's more symmetrical. So, and you're tightening the cheeks. For me, I've got these interesting little dimples here when I do that. So it kind of helps me see, you know, which side is higher than the other. But I can really feel the burning in this muscle here, which I love because I know that it's toning my cheeks and lifting everything up. As I'm aging, I'm starting to see the marionette lines and everything sort of dragging down. So the combination of the gua sha and the face yoga really helps to tone and lift everything. All right, so I'm going to show you one more time, tucking the mouth in. And release. So I find that one really, really, really effective. I just love how it evens out my smile. It makes my cheeks feel more plump. It's just fun. It's amazing what we can do when we have the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please like and share, and I'll see you guys next time.